There's been a cabinet reshuffle in Bauchi State. All the members of the State Executive Council, including the Secretary to the State Government, commissioners and special advisors, have been stripped of their office. The only person left is the Special Advisor to the Governor on Security Matters, Brigadier General Laden Yusuf, retired. Governor Abubakar Abdullahi has, however, announced the appointment of Alhaji Nadada Umar as the new Secretary to the Government. The affected officers have been directed to hand over the affairs of their ministries to their permanent secretaries. Most Nigerians living in urban areas are familiar with the expanded program on immunization (EPI) established by the World Health Organization in Nigeria and other countries in the 1970s. Yet a great number of children under the age of 5 still die from vaccine-preventable diseases. On our Focus on Health tonight, our correspondent Mary Alale Yusuf looks at the importance of immunization and other factors which support under 5's survival.
The aim of the expanded program on immunization is to vaccinate every child against killer diseases, thereby reducing infant morbidity and mortality. A lot of people, however, still have difficulties with compliance to dosages, partly because they do not correctly measure the importance of the treatment. Latest statistics from the Nigeria Demographic and Health Survey state that 22% of children under the age of 5 die from vaccine-preventable diseases in Nigeria.
Most times when you are vaccinated, you don't have the full-blown effect of that disease. However, in immunocompromised states, say HIV and so on and so forth, the person may still come down with a full-blown disease. So that's why it's still important to have that vaccine.
There you have weak health systems, and you have very poor ways of communicating health. You have those challenges. It's not about the person with the disease. It's the possibility that that disease will spread.
Given the concept behind the composition of a vaccine, which is a preparation of a less potent form of the disease, one might wonder why a plausible one has only just been formulated against malaria, or why we still struggle with multi-drug resistant tuberculosis.
You have the vaccines against viruses, the vaccines against bacteria, but for now we don't have vaccines for parasites. Malaria parasites can multiply in the blood, especially in the blood of people that are not immune, and of course with the particular species of parasite that we have.
Aside getting the vaccination, their nutrition, overcrowding, lack of knowledge. So many people are not even, they would still tell you, we have clients that will tell you they don't believe in that there's TB.
Experts believe with increased funding and organization, the EPI picture might be brighter and under 5 deaths less.
A lot of young people are on social media. Radio jingles, advertising, please get your vaccines, please live a healthy life, please don't live in an overcrowded environment, air your rooms, make sure that your house is clean, feed your child properly, nutritious and balanced food, not giving them fizzy drink and all sorts.
We then may begin to have to give incentives for immunization. So you get into school, it could just maybe from the policy level, you'll be registering in a school with your immunization card, so no matter the school you're going to. Then we should overcome the barriers of access. So when we know we have places that are more than 30 minutes to any area in terms of a primary healthcare facility, then we should employ people who are like community mobilizers or community people who are trained to then go to the homes and then give these vaccines.
Doctors say it would be ideal to have routine meningitis, rotavirus and HPV vaccines, which protect against meningitis, certain types of diarrhea and cervical cancer, added to the EPI. But for now in Nigeria, the program consists of vaccines against polio, whooping cough, diphtheria, tetanus, hepatitis B, measles and yellow fever, plus vitamin A administration. Mary Alale Yusuf, Channels Television News.
Several ministries and parastatals of the federal government are accommodated in the Federal Secretariat complex in Abuja. The structure also provides offices for at least 6 ministers of the Federation, besides the office of the head of service and other senior public servants. This next report takes a look at the deplorable condition of that very complex.
This is the Federal Secretariat in Abuja. For over 2 decades, the office complex, namely Phase 1, 2 and 3, have provided office space for federal civil servants. Several ministers of the federal government also carry out their duties from this building. The complex is, however, in need of much repairs, as public servants continue to complain verbally and through electronic mails on the need to address the deplorable state of the complex.
If you visit Federal Secretariat, the sanitation as Federal Secretariat is unfortunate. Enter into most of the toilets, you can enter. And these are the toilets that they were outsourced the maintenance of those toilets to private companies. Then outsourcing has failed at Federal Secretariat, because you can't go to any toilet and ease yourself comfortably there.
The outer beauty you see in this video is a sharp contrast with the situation inside. This video shows the condition of the toilet facilities inside this complex. For 2 weeks, our efforts to speak to some government officials in charge of this complex was unsuccessful. Meanwhile, we spoke to some lawmakers on this matter during one of their oversight functions. This is what they have to say.
National Secretary, honestly, there must be something to quickly address that issue. First of all, maybe from the Secretariat side or from the administrative side, they should have somebody to be in charge.
I do see their buildings, the way it's been looking outside. I say, is this Federal Secretariat? If you go into the ministries, passing through their staircase, you will be seeing different little suites and all these things. You notice that maybe 1 week or 2 weeks they have not even been cleaned. I hope those agencies, they are watching this interview, they need to caution themselves.
No doubt, the beauty and convenience once enjoyed by civil servants using this office complex is fast eroding. There is an urgent need, therefore, for agencies responsible for the maintenance of this edifice to wake up to their responsibilities for the benefit of the public servants working here.
Now, strengthening Nigeria's security architecture remains a priority of the federal government, and all steps needed to deal with insecurity challenges will be taken. That's according to the Defense Minister, Mansur Ali, during the inauguration of the Course 1 of the Navy War College, Nigeria, in Rivers State. The event, which signaled the commencement and operations of the college, follows the inauguration of the Army and the Air Force War Colleges. Our correspondent, Emmanuel Ere, reports.
The Minister of Defense, Mansur Ali, joins top security officers in the premises of the Naval War College, Nigeria, situated in Ubima, Rivers State. After the quarter guard salutes, they proceed for the main event of the day. The Pioneer Course 1 of the Naval War College is officially inaugurated. Chairman of the Committee on Navy at the National Assembly, representatives of the governors of Rivers, Bayelsa and Delta states are also here. The Minister of Defense asks officers to take advantage of the War College to build capacity.
Accordingly, the college is programmed to emphasize intellectual development and academic excellence. It has been tasked with the mission to develop senior naval officers and equivalents from other services as operational level commanders with thorough appreciation of complex national security problems.
For the Chief of Naval Staff, the realities of the security challenges on land and sea requires proactive measures.
It must also be considered of grave implication that several security challenges on land are also fueled by a proliferation of small arms and the light weapons, most of which are illegally imported or smuggled, as noted a while ago, through the sea and the adjoining creeks.
Today's event is doubtlessly a counter to the resolve of the political and military leadership to take the Nigerian armed forces to admirable heights.
The Naval War College, Nigeria, according to the Navy, is strategically situated in the South-South to provide hands-on technical skills and competence for the line of commands in the Navy and other security agencies. Emmanuel Iri, Channels Television News.
Let's quickly shift gears now, shall we, to business news. Anwaldo will take us through.
Thank you, Gimba, and welcome to Business News. As Nigeria's central bank prepares to hold its July Monetary Policy Committee meeting on Monday and on Tuesday next week, analysts expect the financial regulator to maintain status quo on key interest rates parameters. But the CBN rates decision meeting comes the same week with the U.S. Federal Reserve's and Ghana's central bank. The CBN Monetary Policy Committee had retained all parameters since July 2016, when the MPR was moved from 13% to 14%. But ahead of next week, the president of the Association of Bureau de Change Operators, Mr. Aminu Gwadabe, has asked the CBN to further mop up excess naira currently in circulation in order to sustain the stability of the local currency unit and check inflation. The third week of July recorded a higher total turnover of 3.62 billion shares worth 34.88 billion naira in 19,834 deals, compared with a total of 1.27 billion shares traded last week. The activity was driven largely by the financial services sector, which contributed 94% of the overall volume. The consumer goods and conglomerates followed. The market's main index rose by 2.28% to close the week slightly above the 34,000 level, while total value increased by more than 250 billion naira in 11.72 trillion naira. Skybank, Unilever and Lafarge led 36 gainers. Axim answered, AG Leventus and NACO saw the highest price declines among 33 losers, while 102 equities were unchanged for the week. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation has denied colluding with some banks to prevent the remittance of $793.2 million belonging to the federal government. The NNPC describes this allegation as misplaced and misleading. The Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division at the NNPC, Ndu Ogamadu, explains that the corporation had earlier taken steps to inform the Presidency, the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, and the CBN on the existence of the said accounts prior to the creation of the Federal Government Asset Recovery Account. And that's Business News tonight. Thanks a lot for watching. I'm Anne Nwawadu. It's back to you, Gimba.
Still ahead on the news at 10, newly inaugurated federations presidents unveil plans for grassroots sports development. That's in sports news. Stay with us.